guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Today it is already time for our July TBR, which is absolutely crazy. If you're wondering how June's TBR is going, I'm currently filming this in the last week of June and it's not going great. I've read one book, I've DNF'd one book, and I'm in the middle of two, but there is still a week to go. So we will see how this last week treats us in terms of the TBR. My lovely TBR jar is back and will be choosing the prompts for us today. I have kept out the prompts that we chose last month just so we're not getting any repeats. I don't really think there's any specific books I want to get on this TBR this month, and I can't think of any new releases that are coming out in July that I'm desperate to get to. The only one I can think of that's out on the 1st of July, I think, is Tusk Love by Thea Guanzon, but I have already read that. I received an ARC for it and it's amazing. But I think without further ado, let's just get into the prompts. We're going to be choosing 6 again. I think it's manageable. I just need to actually stick to it. So, prompt number 1. A book by a new to you author. For this one, I am going to choose The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. Now, I have heard so much about Rachel's books, and I have One Dark Window on my TBR, but I've not read it yet. And I have a buddy read planned for this one with my friend Jess. So I think this is perfect. It gets the buddy read on there. It's a new to me author and I've heard nothing but amazing reviews for this book. This follows Sybil, who is a diviner. So she receives omens in her dreams and she is in service for her gift, I guess, and so are her sisters. I think they live at a cathedral or something, and then a knight turns up, and in line with him turning up, her sisters vanish one by one, and then I think it's a sort of mystery and these two maybe come together to try and find out what's happening. I'm not entirely too sure. That's a very brief overview on what I do know about this book, but I'm really excited to get to it as I've heard nothing but good things. And this edition is absolutely gorgeous. It's the Fairy Loot edition and I just love it so much. I love the moths on the sprayed edges. That was a good first book to kick the TBR off with, so let's go for prompt number 2. A book to progress in a series. It just depends if I want to be nice to myself or not. Okay, so I have a few options for this, and out of the series that I actually own and that I've started, there's not a great deal to choose from. A lot of the books that I have are like the first in a series. Option number 1 is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. I recently read the first one, House of Earth and Blood, what it's called? Yeah, House of Earth and Blood a couple months ago, and I did want to continue this one on as soon as I could, but it's just so big, and where the first one left off, I didn't feel the need to continue on with this one, which is why I didn't. And it may be coming back to haunt me. And then the other 2 options I have are some romances. So I have Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. This would finish up the Next of Kin duology for me if I did go with this one. And then we also have In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. Now I'm a bit behind because I wanted to try and read the rest of this series as the seasons came, and it has gone past spring, which is what this book is for. So I feel like I maybe need to choose this one so I can then catch up on the series. I think I am going to go for In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. So this follows Evelyn and Beckett, who meet on a weekend away, and Beckett actually works at the Lovelight Farms, I believe, and all of a sudden Evelyn comes to the farm to enter into a social media contest, and it's completely unexpected, and then I think a friendship and then romance ensues. I've only read the Love Light Farms book in this series so far, and I actually really loved it. It took me by surprise. I believe I gave it a 5-star, and I've been wanting to continue on with this series for so long, but I just haven't, and I've decided that this year is the year. I'm just very behind. Prompt number 3, halfway, is this one. A book from your favourite genre. So I am predominantly, I would say, a fantasy reader with romance, but I do also really love horror. I've really started to get into horror. I've decided to go for Lost in the Garden by Adam S. Leslie. This is a horror speculative fiction. This is on my spring summer TBR. This follows a group of girls, so we follow Heather, Rachel and Antonia, who go to Almonby, which is a place where not a lot of people come back from. So they go to find Heather's boyfriend who went and has never returned, and in this adventure we follow these 3 girls, I guess, see why people go there or don't go there because they don't come back. It's giving me Annihilation vibes. I feel like I go on about that book so much, but I really loved it, and I think seeing that done in a slightly different way would just be really great. Okay, moving on to prompt number 4. We have an interesting mix so far. We have A Second Chance, a book you started before. Interesting. The one that immediately came to mind was Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I've started this book last year and I put it down for something else and just never went back to it. And I feel awful because I was lucky enough to be sent an ARC of this, which I didn't think I'd ever get, ever. And I just still haven't read it. So I think it's gonna be time to finally continue on with Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. This is a retelling of Lady Macbeth, but from what I've read so far and remember hearing about this, it's done in a very different way. Rather than a retelling, I think it's just taken her character and what she sort of stands for in Macbeth and completely turned that around on its head. So I'm really excited to see what Ava Reid does with the character of Lady Macbeth and finally continue on and finish this book. So prompt number 5. They're all like stuck together right around the bottom, so I'm just going to try and get one out from there. Most recently hauled. So my most recent purchase was Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This is really exciting. I do actually have a video planned anyway to read this in July, so this just goes hand in hand with that really. And I'm so excited. This is a sapphic vampire story. I believe if you've read Addie LaRue, this is a darker take on that but with vampires, and I can't wait. I don't want to know any more than that. I just want to dive in and not know a single thing until I read it, and this has made me really excited. And then our last prompt, our 6th and final prompt. Let's hope it's a good one. We have a book with a magic element. This is fun because it could be so many different things, and I actually think I know what I want to pick for this one. For this one, I'm going to choose The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is also on my spring summer TBR, so it's great to be able to tick one off of that list. This follows, I think it's Kiela, who works at a library, but there's a revolution brewing where she lives and the library goes up in flames, so she flees to her hometown where she grew up. But she finds that something is draining all the power from where she lives, and she tries to do something about it by opening her own spell shop. And this just sounds so fun. It's a cozy fantasy with a bit of romance in there, and I really like on the back how Catherine Arden has described this. Reading the book was like sitting in the sun, watching bees in the foxgloves, a warm, peaceful delight of a novel. You can almost smell the jam and hear the ocean. I finished the book smiling. And that's exactly what I want for the month of July. And that is it for my July TBR. I do have other reads that I will probably pick up. There's a few videos that I want to do, so I'll have to read some books outside of the TBR to read for those videos. But other than that, I'm actually really excited for this TBR. It's very different to what I was expecting it to go. Let's do a little recap. We have The Spell Shop for a book with a magic element, The Night and the Moth for a new to you author, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil for most recently purchased, In the Weeds for a series continuation, Lost in the Garden for your favourite genre, and then Lady Macbeth for a book to give a second chance to. So this is so exciting, a very mixed bag here, and I can't wait to see how these all turn out. My cat's going crazy. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please let me know what you're hoping to read in July, and it would mean so much if you gave this video a like and subscribe if you wanted to. But that's it for today, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in whatever comes next. Bye!